doing? Hey, RTK Inner Circle. Good morning. It's going to be a good day today, y'all. You feel it? Good morning. Y'all come on in. I'm still getting on all my platforms. Good morning. Hey, TikTok. Hey, YouTube fam. Good morning. How did y'all sleep last night? Hey, Facebook. Y'all, we are almost at Christmas. Can y'all believe that? Come on in the room. Good morning, everyone. I'm almost ready. Hi, Facebook. Hey, beautiful TikTok family. RTK Inner Circle. I slept so good, y'all. I think I was asleep by 10 o'clock. I was in bed at 9. Y'all know it's just when it gets cold outside, you just want to snuggle up in your bed. The hardest time for me to get out of the bed for prayer calls in the whole year is when it's cold. Come on in. I got us worship going this morning. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing? How did y'all sleep last night? Come in and say hey to your besties. Come in and say hey to your cousins. Y'all family now. Y'all hanging out with me on here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's going to be a good day today. I'm so excited, y'all. Listen, let me mute this because y'all know it distracts me after a minute. Y'all listen. I got something to tell y'all. Y'all, there are so many of y'all that signed up for Soar in 24. So everybody is coming on. Thank you to my moderators that are on here with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all, there are so many. I mean, we had probably hundreds and hundreds yesterday sign up for the Soar in 24, which is the masterclass that I start January the 16th. January the 16th, I go into a 5-week, y'all know every January I do something really big. And so thank y'all for the gifts. Y'all, I love it because all the platforms have different gifts. Like on Facebook, they give stars. On TikTok, they give gifts. Like literally somebody's handing me a heart right now. They put little flowers around my head. It's the cutest thing. And then, of course, badges and YouTube gives money. Isn't that crazy? They got all these platforms, got all this fun stuff. So y'all listen, yesterday, so starting January the 16th, happy birthday, A's Gray. January the 16th is the masterclass. Last year we did Breaking Free in 23. You go sign up in the link in my bio. Go to that link tree in my bio and you can sign up, or you can go to realtalkkim.com. Y'all listen to me. Last year, we did Breaking Free in 23. We had thousands of you join me then. And this year, if you sign up for it now, you get to go to, if you sign up for it now, you can get the Breaking Free in 23. So you'll get the Soar in 24 and let's see, Soar in 24. And you get that Breaking Free. So y'all got to go sign up this week. It goes back to $147. Right now it's $67. It goes back to 147 on the day after Christmas. All right. Hey, Keena, I'm putting you as my moderator. So y'all, all of you that are on Instagram, y'all know it's going to blink off because Instagram will not let you be great right now. It's okay. Go to my YouTube channel or my Real Talk Kim Facebook page or my Real Talk Kim TikTok. All of these platforms are going, but you're going to get cut off because they cut off and we're going to be back on here 5 times. I started this thing over 5 times yesterday. So go to my Real Talk Kim YouTube channel. The link is in my bio. So we start January the 16th. We start Soar in 24 with me. We're going to be hitting everything, anything in your life that you feel stuck, you need help with. We are going to assist you starting September the 16th. We do not have any RTK Inner Circle Zooms this Monday night. Also, we still have a couple of tickets left for my Real Talk Kim retreat. My Real Talk Kim retreat is going to be January the 11th, 12th, and 13th. And it's right here in Atlanta, Georgia, 1653 Highway 85 South, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30215. Okay, so January the 11th, 12th, 13th. Y'all need to be here in Atlanta with me at my church that I'm so privileged to pastor, Limitless Church, across from Whitewater High School. All right, and we will be in the building January the 11th, 12th, 13th together. And so we got a lot of stuff going on in January, and I'm so excited. Yo, listen, so the whole month of November, I have been so busy, like traveling every single week. And I was like, man, probably about 3 or 4 months ago, I was like, man, like, I'm telling y'all, this has been a phenomenal year. Yes, all the masterclasses, Dewana, will be recorded. So if you join the Soar in 24, which by going to realtalkkim.com or clicking the link in the memo department, or all my moderators are putting all the information in the news feed. Even if you can't show up at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays, which is when we will be in class at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can still go back. You can still go back and you can watch the replays. So basically what happens is when you join one of my master classes, you get to go back and watch it forever. So you are in a portal. It's a place that you unlock when you join any of my master classes, and you can go back and watch them as much as you want to. And so that's cool because y'all need to always go back and listen to what I'm saying. Y'all also, we have Christmas Eve services at Limitless, 10 and 11:30 on Sunday. Bring your families. It's going to be abbreviated services, but it's going to be so great. We're going to be doing communion. And so we got 10 and 11:30 Sunday right here in Atlanta, Georgia, 1653 Highway 85 South, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30215. Okay. And then New Year's Eve, we have services 10, 11:30, and 10 p.m. And 10 p.m. Sandy, that excites me. And 10 p.m. on New Year's Eve. So you can come celebrate at Limitless Church as well. It's across from Whitewater High School. So if you sign up this week for Soarin' 24 by going to realtalkkim.com or going to the link that is shared on all my pages, or going to the link tree, TikTok, Instagram, you sign up, you also get Breaking Free in 23. All right. And y'all, we're going to go to John 6:12. You know what Instagram messing up has done for me? And I believe everything is God. Y'all hear this. So if Facebook is not working, Tanya, you just put in YouTube, and go search Real Talk Kim, and my YouTube channel will pop up. And I'm always, everything I do is shared on my YouTube. And I also have a free app. You can go to your Google Play Store, your Apple Store, and download the Real Talk Kim app for your phone. And I send out notifications. So if you sign up this week, you get $67 for the masterclass, which is 5-week teaching. You're going to have school with me. Always show up with your notebook. And then at Christmas, it goes back up to $147. It's definitely worth the $147. I'm so excited, Crystal. So y'all, today we're going to go John 6:12. So listen, here's the good thing about Instagram messing up, because y'all know we were hitting like 1,500 people on this prayer call just on Instagram. Well, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So the enemy gets mad. But a year and a half ago, maybe almost 2 years ago, my Facebook page got hacked. So one morning, we had 40,000 people on a Facebook prayer call with me. And 10 hours later, that Facebook page got hacked. For a whole entire year, I couldn't even get into any of my Facebooks. And so I moved over to Instagram. Instagram started building. I started sending people to YouTube, which is building. And I learned in that last season not to get flustered. And this is a word for all of you today. Do not get flustered at what you're walking through, because God is in the details. So when sometimes God will wreck your plans when he sees your plans are about to wreck you. So what God will do is God will begin to get your focus. When you feel a nudging in your spirit, or you feel like, man, something ain't right here, stop nursing it and just do it. Like, I need to pull back from this relationship, pull back from that relationship. Like, something ain't right here. I feel like something's off. Something is off. When you feel like something is off in your life, it's off, and you need to pay attention to it. And so now I don't let nothing fluster me. I don't let nothing fluster me. Nothing. I'm talking, y'all. If something catastrophic happens, I'm not gonna let it fluster me. I'm going to realize that God is in the details, because Romans 8:28 said that he's working all things together for our good. So today, tomorrow, walking into Christmas, having to spend Christmas with somebody you don't like, already feeling dreadful about it, today, do an attitude check. Do an attitude check today. Do not let your heart be troubled, is what the word of God says. And so today, don't let your heart be troubled. When you start feeling your blood pressure go up, stop and breathe. Take your mind off of whatever it is that is making you feel agitated. Because the one thing with Instagram messing up and cutting us off every 10 minutes is it's making me get to my point quicker. Right? And sometimes God is like, you're wasting too much time. There's more people that would be watching. More people would join this prayer call if you would get to it, right? If you would get to it. And so today, pay attention to what God's telling you. Pay attention to that situation you've been praying about. Stop trying to get into, is this God? Is this not God? Is this God? Is this not God? The worst case scenario is you move and God moves with you. That's how he works. But you can't sit still. All right? And so don't get flustered. That's your word. Don't you dare get flustered. Don't get weary in well-doing, for in due season you shall reap if you faint not. Then Romans 8:28 says that God is working all things together for my good. Yo, I used to stress all the time. I remember forever I felt fat. Y'all know my mom is like 5 foot tall, 99 pounds soaking wet, and I'm 5'9", and all my life people would call me Amazon. And so I had this insecurity about my weight, about, man, I'm not petite, I wish I was tiny, and I would stress about it my whole life. Like every time I would eat something, I'd stress about it, and I would just, finally one day I was just like, man, I guess I'm just gonna always be big. And I remember God started speaking to me in that season, because y'all know God did a real work in my life starting at 40, and now I'm 51 years old. So the last 10, 11 years, it's been a huge growing. It's been growing. I've just been growing. And God spoke to me and said, get to the root of your insecurity. And I went back. This was like probably about 40 years old. I started going back, 41 years old. I started going back and I started dealing with the root. And I started loving who God created me to be. Do you know when I stopped stressing about it is when I started getting it, my weight started getting, I started losing weight. That's the same thing. You ever seen a woman that wants to get pregnant so bad and she goes through years of depression because she can't get pregnant? And then all of a sudden she stops worrying about it and says, God, if you never give me a baby, I'm still going to worship you. I'm still going to praise you. And then like the next month she gets pregnant. This is the word for you for the next week and a half of this year. Start dealing with the root of why you're stressing about what you're stressing. I ain't never gonna get married. God ain't never gonna bring me nobody. I ain't never this. I ain't never that. And get to the root of why you're stressing about something that God's given you a desire for. Because if God's given you a desire for it and God is making a spotlight shine on something in your life, then he wants you to deal with the root so that you can go through life and you can stop worrying about it. I fell in love with all of me, right? And now I've literally watched the last 10 years of my life just a glow up season. I stopped being bitter. I stopped being angry. I stopped being stressed. I stopped being jealous, right? Because I started dealing with the root. The root is the enemy starts it at a young age. The enemy usually is after you. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy is what the Bible says. But he doesn't say he does it. It says that he just comes in and steals, kills, and destroys. So he uses you and your mind. He uses people that you've got close to you that talk to the insecurity. And the Bible also says that it's the little foxes that spoil the vine. So today, deal with whatever it is on the inside of you that is causing you to stay flustered. And don't allow yourself to go there. You have to be intentional. So I'm going to go off of Instagram right now, and I'm going to share that clip right there because that was so good. And then we are going to start it over. See, I'm getting the method. I'm getting the method. You got to learn how to work around the enemy, y'all. You got to work around the enemy. You got to stop allowing yourself to get flustered and learn how to work around the situation. Now we're going back on. Boom, shakalaka, laka, boom, boom, boom. That's what we doing up in here today. So, y'all, we're going to go. Let me get them back on. We're going to go to John 6:12. John 6:12. All right. I know a lot of you, listen, remember the Masterclass starts January the 16th. Go sign up today for the Masterclass. It's a 5-week course where I'm going to teach y'all how to start businesses. I'm going to teach y'all why that wilderness experience was necessary. You're going to be so thankful that God trusted you with that. Hell, you watch. By the time you're done with me in 5 weeks, you are not going to be able to stay stuck. So go sign up for the Masterclass January 6th. January 16th. Go sign up for my RTK Inner Circle today. Walk into the new year, a part of my RTK Inner Circle. All of this is on realtalkkim.com, okay? And remember, my book, y'all all need to go buy my book for all your loved ones. Go right on Amazon and get You Gotta Get Up, all right? And then we have services Christmas Eve at 10 and 11:30 at Limitless Church, 1653 Highway 85 South, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30215. So the word we've had, y'all, is don't get flustered. Don't allow yourself to get troubled. The Bible says, don't let your heart be troubled. So John 6:12 says, when they had all enough to eat, when they all had enough to drink. Yes, I'll be teaching you how to write books. I'm gonna be teaching you how to publish them. We're going to be teaching you, y'all listen, because I was a single mom. I know you got to have extra income. I'm going to teach y'all how I did it. We're going to talk about everything, breaking soul ties. We're going to be breaking everything. So John 6:12 says, when they had all had enough to eat, he said to his disciples, gather the pieces that are left over and let nothing be wasted. John 6:12 says, after they had all had enough to eat. Y'all remember this? He said to his disciples, gather the pieces that are left over and let nothing be wasted. Here's what God spoke to me about you this morning. God is going to use you to prove that he is a miracle worker. God is going to use you to prove that he is a miracle worker. See, I believe that my gift, and I tell y'all this all the time, I don't even believe it. I know my gift is getting down on the inside of you and pulling out everything that the enemy has defeated. That the enemy has defeated over your life. That's what I believe my gift is. I believe that my gift is getting down on the inside of you and pulling out everything that the enemy has tried to defeat you and lie to you and tell you that is not going to happen. It's in you, you believe it, but you're getting frustrated because it ain't happening quick enough. And so you are going to be used as an example that God is a miracle worker. So we're sitting here looking at this text today, and this text is talking about the disciples and how Jesus told the disciples after they had all eaten, go get the remaining leftovers and bring them to me. Let nothing, yes, there will be a workshop, a workbook with your, when you sign up for the SOAR. You're gonna have a workbook. It's class. Y'all, we're gonna be doing some work for 5 weeks on a Tuesday night at 7 p.m. SOAR in 24. You also get Breaking Free in 23 along with it, another masterclass. So in this text, y'all, when we see Jesus, he has fed a crowd of 5,000 people with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. This is the story in the Bible. Remember that? When he took the 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread and he fed over 5,000 people. He took that little Long John Silver, little boy's Long John Silver lunch and multiplied it. When Jesus fed a crowd of 5,000, it says he blessed and multiplied 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And everyone had more than enough to eat. And there were still, y'all, after that, there were still 12 baskets full of bread left over. 12 baskets of food left over after the 5,000 was fed. That's because we serve a God of abundance. Y'all, that's the problem. Some of y'all ain't got no faith. Some of y'all ain't got no faith. Some of y'all over here late. You have laid awake all night looking at the ceiling, counting 99 bottles of milk on the wall. We're going to say milk on the wall. 98 bottles of beer. Y'all remember you used to see that? Take one down, pass it around. 97 bottles of beer on the wall. 97 bottles of beer. Y'all remember that? And so we're over here stressing out because we don't really believe that God is a God of abundance. But he is a God of abundance. We serve a God that literally says, I will make a way out of no way. In my presence, I will melt the mountains like wax. Then Jesus told the disciples to collect all the leftovers so that nothing was wasted. With God, nothing is wasted. It may look like it's wasted. It may look like you went to college. You got more degrees than a thermometer. And you may think that everything's wasted because you can't get a job in your field. God wastes nothing. Jesus told the disciples, collect all the leftovers so that nothing was wasted. With Jesus, nothing is ever wasted. He'll never waste an experience. He'll never waste a hurt. He'll never waste a dream. Come on, somebody. He'll never waste even a piece of bread. If you've felt as though you've wasted years of your life in the wrong job, hanging around the wrong people, or doing the wrong things, God will gather those years and restore them to you. Yo, on my podcast last week, and if y'all haven't listened to any of my podcasts, y'all need to go listen to Real Talk Kim podcast. Wherever you watch podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, Google, all right? Go listen to the Real Talk Kim podcast. Last week, I was talking about how when I walked through such a huge, it was one of the hardest seasons of my life because I had receipts. I wanted to tell on people. I wanted to prove, because all them people were running their mouth. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. People that talk a lot, people that gossip, they are always the ones with the worst skeletons in their closet. Even if you wasted time on people, Lisa Keaton, you did not waste time on people. Stop thinking you wasted time in that 12-year marriage because you thought it would work and it ended up not working. Stop beating yourself up because you think you wasted 30 years on that marriage that was rocky, and then all of a sudden he gets the nerve to tell you he don't love you anymore, and you are just panicked because you stuck with him through all those years, and now he's left you, and you got to start all over again. None of that was wasted. And I was talking about on my podcast, Real Talking Podcast, I was like, I wanted to tell it. I was holding receipts. They were lying on me. They still lie. And God told me, he said, you live so nobody believes it, and I will vindicate you. Shut your mouth. And he reminded me of how when he sat at that table with all those disciples eating the last dinner. Do y'all remember that? You know that picture we always see? And it's those men lined up at that table and it was the last dinner, right? You see it. It's like this image of the Last Supper. And Jesus is sitting there with all of his disciples. And he reminded me of how he sat at that dinner table and never told the disciples that Judas, he could have pointed his finger at Judas and said, disciples, because that was his road dogs. His disciples was his inner circle, right? They would cut for him. He could have went, disciples, Judas is about to betray me. And Judas is going to lie on me in such a way he's going to put me on the cross. And the disciples would have beat the tar out of him. But Jesus never uttered a word. Why? Because it was necessary for Jesus to go to the cross. So 2,000 years later, we could still be living and making it through these situations in our lives. Some of the storms we created, other storms people did to us. He knew that we were going to need his grace. And so it was necessary for somebody to betray him in order to get him on that cross for 2,000 years later. Now listen, let me poise this. Thank you, Holy Spirit. What if you would have never walked through that affair? You would have never walked through that divorce. You would have never walked through that bankruptcy. You would have never lost that job because they lied on you. You would have never lost it. What if, in fact, I know for a fact that if God trusted you with it, he is not going to waste the pain that you made in the process of getting back up again. So what if this is your God moment? That thing that you can't stand. What if it is your God moment? And God is over here saying, I need you. If I would have never walked through my divorce, I would have never went and worked at Bloomingdale's. I would have never had to do makeup on people. I would have never lost. I needed to be humble. I needed to hit rock bottom and find out who the rock is at the bottom. I would still be over there fighting for one person that liked being sick instead of millions of people, instead of getting up every morning at 8 a.m. If I wouldn't have lost everything, I would have never worked at Bloomingdale's, which is where I fell in love with people. I would have never, loving y'all through my thumbnails is my favorite hobby on the planet. Coaching my RTK Inner Circle on Monday nights and doing these masterclasses and pastoring at Limitless is one of my favorite things on the planet. I used to hate people. I was so broken by Christians. I would not be doing what I'm doing today. So here's my question to you is what if that thing that you are wasting because of shame and guilt, what if that divorce that happened 13 years ago that's made you still lay in your bed, or that death that happened during the pandemic was God's way of setting you up? You can't waste your hell. Every single challenge you've gone through has deposited something inside you. And he's going to make you stronger. He's going to make you wiser. He's going to make you better off than you were before. So be encouraged today. Because with God, all things are possible. You know what? Your purpose is connected to that very thing that took your breath away. Thank you for the badges. Took your breath away. Somebody said, why though? Why though? Why did God put us in toxic families? He did. Why did he place us in the zip codes? He did. Like why? Well, for starters, because sometimes God needs you to get here. Sometimes he knows that your mom and daddy are going to get together. Maybe it was a one-night stand. But he knew their combination. Maybe your daddy is a fierce businessman, but he's an alcoholic now because he could never get his life together, but he's still got the business skills. What if your mama was super talented, but she ended up getting strung out on drugs? But God knew if I bring these two people together, they're going to make a masterpiece called you. And then after they get together, I'm going to allow them to break up because I don't want you to hang out with them. The seed was what I needed. I needed whatever. This is how y'all got to look at it. And so after they got together and had you, then all of a sudden they went opposite. They ain't in your life no more. And now you mad. And he said, I would rather deal with the insecurity of you having to figure your life out than live with two people that's going to cause you to end up with generational curses. So I'm going to let them get out. That daddy was never going to be good for you, but his seed was. That's why he put you in that zip code, because he needed you to get here. That's why he put you in that marriage, because he needed you to learn how to get some empathy for other people. If you wouldn't have been in that marriage, how would you have empathy? How would you ever, if I would have never walked through a divorce, I'd have been turning my nose down on people probably that have been divorced, right? Man, it takes sometimes look, come on somebody. I'm saving this clip. I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back. That was a good clip right there. Y'all, what if God is over here saying, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to trust you with this. I'm going to trust you. God never wastes an ounce of your pain. He never wastes a situation in your life. And so what if I love when people ask me that question because God dropped stuff down in my spirit, man. And when he drops stuff down in my spirit, it's him saying to you today, yo, embrace where you are. Embrace the seasons that are freaking you out. Embrace the possibility that God knew exactly what he was doing when he created you. He doesn't waste anything. Every challenge you've gone through has deposited something inside of you. He'll make you stronger. He's going to make you wiser. He's going to make you better than you ever were before. So you got to be encouraged today. What if? What if? In the comments, I want you to write, what if, ... and let that darkest thing that's been eating you alive go into the comments. Write it. What if? What if, ... that church throwing me out was only to set me up for going to another place where God could use me even greater? What if that divorce was used to help me get out of a situation that I got into when I was broken? What if God knew their character couldn't keep up with my purpose? So he let them reject me. What if God let that person that I used my 401k plan, spent all my money in that business deal? What if God let them run off with my money because he knew down the road they were going to go to jail for tax fraud and I would have went with them? What if God took my baby young because God knew down the road they would struggle for 20 years in pain? And he said, I'm going to bring them on to eternity where they're going to be living their best life. I'm saving them. What if God allowed you in that special ed your whole life, making you feel insecure, so that he knew that you were going to be so powerful and so anointed and so gifted that if he wouldn't have allowed you to feel a little insecure in some area, you wouldn't need him. And you'd be out here killing your life because you were prideful. What if he needed you to feel what it was like to need him? What if? What if it's love? It was an act of love. Come on, Lisa Keaton. What if today? What if? I can guarantee you something. God don't waste your hell. It ain't even tough love. It's just love. Because one thing I've discovered. What if your son wasn't suffering from mental illness? What if that mental illness is keeping him connected to you in a way that he probably wouldn't have, and he'd have been out there strung out on drugs, but yet him being mentally challenged in this season was God keeping him close? Because if he'd have been out there, he'd gotten shot, but God's saving him. Y'all, I promise you with everything on the inside of me that your worst situation is better than whatever he's saving you from. Do you hear me? I can promise you with everything on the inside of me. See, we never look at it as agape love because it's embarrassing. Because most of the time we go through things, the hardest part of going through things is what people are going to think about us. We care more what people think about us. They get up and go to the bathroom like us. They wake up with bedhead like us. They wake up with pochon breath like us. They go to the bathroom like us. And yet we let these people control us. And so the biggest insecurity we have is us caring what people think about us. But baby, I would never waste my hell on a bunch of people that ain't got no courage to do what God's called them to do. Because when people are doing what God has called them to do, they ain't got time to hate on you. So let them hate, let them talk while you elevate. While you elevate, don't you come off your chariot to defend yourself. Don't you come off your chariot to throw tomatoes at anybody. Don't you come off your chariot to tell your side of the story. Shut your mouth and let God do the talking. When Noah was building that ark, all those people, all the HOAs was probably sending him all kinds of paperwork. Probably telling him, I'm charging you $100 a day. Every day you keep this big old wood piece out in your yard. He's building an ark. It never rained in his place. Never saw rain. But yet God told him, go build an ark. Basically, God signed him up to look stupid for a while. But Noah never said a word. He let the rain speak for itself. Baby. Let the rain speak for itself in your life. Let your comeback game speak for you. Let what God does for you speak for you. Let them talk. They're necessary. The haters are necessary. The gossip columnists are necessary. TMZ's necessary. That gossip that's going to see you at Christmas, that loudmouth, chunky butt aunt that always is talking about you and turning her nose down at you, realize it's taken her to get you there. And she will see your comeback. Trust and believe that God will never let you end in a deficit. Here's the problem. So often, we're so mad at our situation that we can't even get a comeback. You are everything that they are, you are now, because you've let what they did to you get inside of you. Now you acting just like them. Now you walking around petty Crocker, petty LaBelle, petty Patrick, hater Helen. You all these things. Why? Because you bitter. Now you let what they did to you get inside of you. The very thing that you can't stand, you becoming. Why? Because you ain't realizing it took this to get you there. I felt that doggone word. I'm telling y'all, let it go. Let them watch. In fact, turn on the light so they can see you better. Do more lives so they can see you better. Don't block the haters. Let them go. Let them see everything God's doing in your life. Some people don't even realize how hard you were riding for them until you park your car. But don't you get mad. Don't you get vengeful. And don't you get haughty. Don't you get haughty. Don't you get prideful. Don't you be like, oh, let me show you. Don't you dare, because God will take you down as quick as he took you up. Don't you dare. You stay humble. Every challenge you've gone through has deposited something inside you. He'll make you stronger, wiser, and better off than you were before. So be encouraged today, because with God, Philippians 4:13 says, with God, all things are possible. Father, right now in the name of Jesus, I thank you that you're going all throughout these airwaves. All the people watching the replays. Lord, thank you today that we are not getting weary in well-doing. Lord, we're standing strong. We're standing flat-footed. In fact, today, we're putting back on our clothes. Come on. Some of y'all need to go get dressed. Some of y'all need to fix your hair. Some of y'all need to put that makeup on. Some of y'all need to, look. Ain't nothing better than revenge is coming out better than you were when you fell. Because God knew before you were ever even a thought in your mama's womb. God knew that you were going to be here. And he said, I got a comeback story that's going to blow your ever-loving mind. I don't care if you did everything they said you did. God has a way of turning that situation around. I don't care if you were nay-naying on the bar at Pink Pony a month ago. God has a way of turning it into a bestseller, baby. He knew you were going to be there. He never took his hands off you. And he said, I'm going to let you nay-nay for a while so you have a testimony. So your tea to somebody else is a testimony and a bestseller, baby. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Somebody shout, it's coming. Somebody shout, it's coming. Come on, say, I'm back. Come on, I'm back. All day long today, when you start feeling defeated, I'm back. I'm talking yell it. Come on, yell it. Yell it. Listen, be encouraged, everybody. God has already gone before you and made the crooked way straight. It's already working all things together for your good, baby. He loves you with an everlasting love. There ain't never nothing you can do that's going to make him love you less. And there ain't never nothing. Yo, he loves you, period. When people walk out, he walks in. All right? I sure do love you guys. I sure do love you guys. Y'all go kill it today. Go kill it today. Everywhere you go, you leave your residue. Everywhere you go today, you be contagious. Everywhere you go, don't you come off that chariot and throw tomatoes at no, don't you open your mouth ugly. You better go home tonight and cook your husband some food. You better love on them tonight. You better give them extra love. Put that kid in bed. Spend some time with your spouse. Come on, suck up your pride, buttercup. Come on, some of y'all need to call and repent to some people. You were ugly. You were jealous. You acted out of pain. Get out of your feelings and into healing today, because, baby, you are a whole problem. You are a problem to the devil. I love y'all. I'll see you in the morning at 8 a.m. Y'all, go get in my masterclass. Go sign up today. realtalkkim.com. It's a 5-week class with me. January the 16th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do 5 weeks of this kind of stuff. You're going to be free when you're done with me. Also, realtalkkim.com. Also, go to, you also the Breaking Free masterclass as well. Also, this Sunday, we have Christmas Eve at Limitless Church, my church I pastor, 1653 Highway 85 South, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30215. Also, go get your retreat tickets. Get in the building. 3 days with me. It's going to be powerful. All the tickets are on my website, realtalkkim.com, January 11th through the 13th. And listen, get in my RTK Inner Circle. You know you want to be a part of my community. I love y'all. Bye. Y'all, I done beat the enemy at his game today, right here on this TikTok. I mean, on Instagram. We did it. We did it. I love y'all. Thank you, moderators. I love y'all so much. Bye. Love y'all. Bye, TikTokers. TikTok fam bam. Y'all know I'm having a hard time closing this because I ain't got my bifocals on. Love y'all. This is good, man. This is good. Thank you.